Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Impulse TCG, where we buy up everything we see and open it up on camera for your viewing pleasure. Today, we've got a $600 collector booster box. Can you believe it? That's where we're at in the world. $600. I mean, what could you buy? That's like a TV, right? You could buy a TV that was on sale, a nice one, for $600. But instead, you got a Final Fantasy collector booster box with about $300 worth of cards in it. Unless you open some sort of Surge foil bomb, right? That's worth like 300 bucks. You're just never gonna get there, price-wise. You're never gonna get there. You have to know that going into it. You got to do it for the love. For the love of Final Fantasy. We start off with, I can't even read that, what's that say? Hope, S-theme. That tells you right down here, Final Fantasy, I don't think you can see it, the focus isn't good enough. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 8. Yeah. This is what they call the Strike a Pose arts. Oh, there's a good hit. Didn't mean to reveal it yet, but there's a good hit. Is that foil? I can't see it. I don't think it's foil. Nope. It's an Akroma's Will. After our Strike a Pose art. Here's another Strike a Pose art in non-foil. Yuna, Hope of Spira. Minu, White Mage. We'll put the Strike a Pose arts here. The bonus sheet cards here and everything else up here. We got Firon, Wild Rose Warrior. And we get Cipher Almasi. Cipher. Whatever. Oh, that's a Strike a Pose art. So that goes with the Strike a Pose arts. See, in the background of the Strike a Pose arts, you can see which Final Fantasy they were in Roman numerals, but you know, he just covers it all up, right? This guy is from Final Fantasy 2. I believe they've got him in. Because you know, originally when Final Fantasy 2 was released over here, it was actually Final Fantasy 4. They just didn't. They just never got around to releasing 2 and 3, and then they called 4. They called Final Fantasy 4 Final Fantasy 2 in America. I find that wildly unfair. So what do we get here for rares? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes token, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have a quick look at whatever cool. These are pretty cool. We got Final Fantasy scenes on them. We got Vanilla Ice. Another Vanilla Ice. Yeah, nothing super interesting there. Let's see if we get anything super interesting here. Where's that Vivi? That's not Vivi. That's Midgar, City of Mako. Vivi? Nope. That's Ultimate Magic Meteor. I remember that spell. Ultimate Magic Meteor deals 7 damage to each creature. If this spell is cast from exile, for each opponent choose an artifact or land that player destroys, destroy the chosen permanent. Oh, pretty cool. We have got Summon Magus Sisters. Let's see, what do we get here? All 3 chapters of the same. Put 3 1/1 counters on target creature. Okay. Defense. Put a shield counter on. Okay, so they are different. Oh, no, you choose one at random. Ha. Fight. This creature fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Oh, that's pretty cool. We have got our first mythic, and it is a bad one. It is Sephiroth, Planet's Heir. 6 for a 4/4 vigilance. When he enters, creatures your opponent's control get -2/-2 till end of turn, so kind of like Massacre Worm. Only instead of your opponent's losing 2 life, whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on Sephiroth. So, I don't know. I think Massacre Worm's just much better. 1 color. And I think the direct damage Any commander pot is just better. Yeah, here's one of my major gripes about the set. Your bonus sheet card is a Strixhaven Stadium, a card that literally no human being has ever said, I sure hope they reprint Strixhaven Stadium. Oh, we got a, is it a Surge foil? It's not, but this is a good one. It's the pose art, strike a pose art of Gogo, Master of Mimicry. Gogo, sorry. Gogo, Master of Mimicry. I remember playing with him in Final Fantasy VI. He was a lot of fun. XX tap. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control X times. You may choose new targets for the copies. This ability cannot be copied, and X cannot be 0. Pretty good hit. He's one of the cards people are really excited about, and I'm happy to get him. Would have been nice to get him in Surge foil. The Surge foils of the chase cards in this are worth quite a bit. So let's see. Token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the full art land. I'm not sure if you can get him in Surge foil. Crystal Fragments. Pretty cool card there. X-Death, Void Warlock. Spirit Warlock. When X-Death enters, you gain 3 life at the beginning of your end step. If there are 6 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, transform X-Death. He's going to transform into a star 3 trample. His power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Not really that impressive. Maybe if he milled you when he came in to kind of fuel himself, but instead he gives you life. I don't know. Moving on, we get the town commander, town payoff guy. Nothing to write home about. A little bit gimmicky. We get the fire crystal. People excited about the crystals. Red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Creatures you control have haste. 6 tap, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. People are going to want that for Deadpool trading card. Sin guy I think is actually pretty good. Flying Trample, as Sin enters, remove all counters from any number of artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Sin enters with X11 counters on it, where X is twice the number of counters removed this way. When Sin dies, put its counters on target creature you control, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. Pretty cool. I like that he moves the counters around. We've got Cloud's Limit Break. He's at his limit, and he's breaking. Here's his breaking point. What do we got? Tiered. For just the 2 mana, this is how the tiered things work. They've all got a, you can pay just that, and you get the 0 effect. Destroy target tapped creature. Or for the 2 up here in the corner, and an additional 1, so you're going to pay a white and 2 colorless. Destroy any number of target tapped creatures with different controllers. Or you can go all the way up to 6, being 2 white and 4 colorless. Destroy all tapped creatures, period. And it's at instant speed, so you got the potential to wrath somebody's board. If somebody swings all out at you, you just say, oh yeah, well, guess what? Blow all your creatures up. Here's a cool one, a Smuggler's Copter. I'm looking for that card to be a pretty decently valued card, and we have got one of the alt art, one of the Japanese art mythics. It is Aettir and Priwen. And equipment. Oh yeah, I got to get this in Captain America. Equipped creature has base power and toughness XX, where X is your life total. Turn Captain America into a 40/40, will you? I don't know. I'll put that there. That's just the base power and toughness. Then it's plus any other equipment you've got on them. Also good to know is like a commander deck where you're playing on flinging a creature, making him really big and flinging him at somebody. Piss all your friends off, like I like to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this should be your foil basic land. It is. Summon Girlfriend Ifrit. Yeah, a lot of my girlfriends have been Ifrits. Ambrosia Whiteheart. It's a, it's a chocobo, so it's going to be popular, if not valuable. Anyway, enough of that crap. On to the rares. The rares, what everybody came for. We got, yeah, I think this guy here is pretty good. Underrated. Rubon attacks, attach up to one target equipment you control to target attacking creature. Doesn't even necessarily have to be him, but if you want him to survive combat at 2/2, you're probably going to have to attach it to him, which is just fine. Free equip guys, he's probably going to go in my Captain America deck. Eye of Nidhogg. Legendary enchantment or enchant creature. Enchant creature is a black dragon with base power and toughness 4/2, has flying and death touch, and is goated. Yeah, this is, I want this for my Irritier the Charmed Apple deck. This is a great hit. When Eye of Nidhogg is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. So even if the creature ends up dying in combat, you're going to get this right back, and you can just stick it right on another creature. Very good. A good hit there. Glad to have gotten that. We got Blue Mage's Cane, job select, equipped creature, gets +0/+2, is a wizard in addition to its other types, and has, when this creature attacks, exile up to one target instant or sorcery card from defending player's graveyard. If you do so, copy it. You may cast the copy by paying 3 rather than its mana cost. Equip 2. Whenever this creature attacks, yeah, it doesn't even have to hit the guy, right? All you got to do is attack him, and you can cast an instant or sorcery by paying 3. I mean, it's kind of dependent upon one of your opponents having an instant or sorcery that's more than worth paying 3. We get Golbez, Crystal Collector. A little bit disappointing. Golbez was a major character, and let's see if they list him as Final Fantasy IV. They do. See, when I knew Golbez, he was Final Fantasy II. We get, yeah, yes, from the bonus card, or the bonus sheet, Wall of Omens. I mean, come on, why bother? Why even bother? Oh man, and this is not the mythic you want to see. Dark Confidant in your valuable slot, no less. He takes up a mythic, and he takes up your valuable slot. I think they kind of swung and missed a little bit with this set. I don't think there's any reason to have Strixhaven Stadium and Wall of Omens on the bonus sheet. Dark Confidant reprinted at Mythic. I mean, give us a break. He's not worthy of being a Mythic anymore. They need to down the rarity on him. I have 6. What the heck? Okay, looks like I went a little bit too far there. Here's our borderless cards, whatever that's worth. And we can already see what our rare is. It's the Simic Rare Town. Kind of cool. Wrecking Ball Arm, legendary artifact equipment, 2 to cast. Equip legendary 3 or equip to anything for 7. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 7/7 and can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So no chump blocking my commander anymore. You got to commit something valuable if you want to block them. We get Slitskin, Moogle Merchant. 1 for a 1/2 lifelink target creature you control of a target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. Pretty cool. I don't know. Donate you something you don't want. Who knows? We get Esper to Magicite. Instant. 4 mana. Exile each opponent's graveyard. When you do, choose up to 1 target creature exiled this way. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's an artifact and loses all other types. This is a pretty good card right here. You get the best creature out of all 3 of your opponent's graveyards as a token. So if you got token doublers, you'll get 2 of them, right? And then you deal with the graveyard at the same time. Very cool card right there. We got Tymna the Weaver here. Pretty cool hit. Tymna carries some value. Kind of cool art. I heard most of these bonus sheet cards are actually arts from the Final Fantasy trading card game. So we've got this one again. I think it's the second time we've gotten it in that slot. Midgar, City of Mako. Nothing to write home about. No chance for it to come in untapped unless you've got Spelunking or an Amulet of Vigor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I think the... What am I doing here? Am I going... Maybe there's only 5 and I don't know. Island. Oh, we get a secret rendezvous. Oh, it's Cloud and Aerith. I think this is going to be... You know, if this is... There's one that's the regular art, Cloud with somebody else. I think if this is the rare one, this will be the most expensive one. Because, you know, sad times when Aerith died. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Shahan Toto gets XO until end of turn, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. If X is 4 or more, draw a card. Pretty cool little commander. Will be big in the blue-red mana value 4 or more matters limited decks. What do we got here? Minu, White Mage. 5 mana for a 3/3 Vigilance lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each cleric you control. Bit of a cleric typal deck there. We've got, how do you pronounce that? Lyci Hext. 3 for a 2/2 prowess non-creature spells you cast, cost 1 less to cast. As long as you've cast 2 or more non-creature spells this turn, she has got double strike. I don't know, maybe she'll go in the old Narset Enlightened Exile deck. We have a Realm Reborn in the special Japanese art. Other permanents you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. I don't know, pretty cool. Soldier, military program. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one. If you control a commander, you may choose both instead. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, or put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 soldiers you control. Pretty cool. Pretty powerful little token maker. Oh, we saw what we got in the last one there. We got Deadly Dispute. Our first foil bonus sheet card is Deadly Dispute. Again, my criticism of the bonus sheet and the fact that these are $6 and for a lot of people $700 to $750 boxes. You know, you need these slots to hit, and especially if you're only going to get like 2 or 3 in foil, you cannot pull a foil Deadly Dispute from this slot and feel good about your box if you paid $600 for it. It's just not how the world works. What are they doing? And we've got the foil Japanese art Jekt. Reluctant Guardian, Menace 4/3. Oh yeah, a lot of people are jacked up about this guy. Whenever Jekt deals combat damage to a player, you may exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Saga. Each opponent discards a card, and you draw a card. That's the first 2 chapters of the saga. Each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice, and then he goes away. I really wish he was one of the ones that just flipped back over, right? That would make him really powerful. Ultimate. Jekt Shot. 7/7 menace for a couple of turns, and a lot of card advantage involved. Pretty good card. That's half the box. Did we get... Give me a comment. Do you think we got $300 worth of cards in the comments section? Take a guess. Don't look it up. Just take a guess what the dollar value of those cards are. Something tells me this is going to be the only box that I open. Oh, look at that. We got a Chocobo token. This is going to be the only box of these that I open. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm going to find that there's just not... Hey, look, my first Surge foil, and it's an uncommon. Yay. Something tells me it's just not going to be even close to $600 worth of value. What do we got? We have got Starting Town. Pretty good little card. As land enters tapped unless it's your first, second, or third turn of the game. So it's kind of like the fast lands. Add a colorless or pay a life, add a mana of any color. You're probably going to see that a lot in Standard and Pioneer. That's Rauban, Bull of Alamigo, Alamigo. Yeah, the guy that gets you the free equips. Shadow, Mysterious Assassin, 3 for a 3/3 Death Touch. Throw. Whenever Shadow deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrifice permanent. Pretty cool little ability, I think. Death Touch, so no one wants to block it. We got an extended art of the front-facing commander from the Mardu deck. It's pretty cool. And we get, yeah, our second foil is, wow, Stroke of Midnight. I mean, come on. And we get a Strike Oppose art of Squall, Seed Mercenary. He's going to be, I think Squall will see some play in the Knights Typal decks, Typal, Tribal, whatever you want to call it. Copy token hero, nothing to write home about. Oh, we got a double side there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and land, right? Yep. Summon Anima and Feng. Already got him a couple of times. Let's see here. What do we got? Balthier and Fran. Nothing to write home about. And we've gotten like a very, very low number of mythics in this box so far. We've got Conformer Shuriken, however you pronounce that. Equipped creature has, whenever this creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. If that creature has greater power than this creature, put a number of 1/1 counters on this creature equal to the difference. That's pretty cool. You know, if you've got a big old 10/10 over there and I'm swinging with my 2/2, all of a sudden my 2/2 becomes a 10/10. I like it. And it gives your creatures, you know, sort of evasion. They got 1 less blocker. This guy again. Rejoin the fight. Mill 3 cards. Then starting with the next opponent. In turn order, each opponent chooses a creature card in your graveyard that hasn't been chosen. Return each card chosen this way to the battlefield under your control. And we get, oh, this is Kenrith, the Returned King. Pretty cool, actually. You know, nothing to write home about. Kenrith kind of fallen out of favor. What do we got here? We got Venat. Heart. Oh, yeah, the Knight. Is this the chick? No, this isn't the chick. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. For 7 whole mana, tap. Exile target non-land permanent and transform into 4/4 Indestructible. Blessing of Light. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. Until your next turn, it gains Indestructible. If that creature is legendary, draw a card. I don't know. I mean, it's only a rare, but it seems pretty powerful. Maybe it'll see some play somewhere. Not a search foil. We have notably gotten zero rare or mythic search foils thus far. What is up with that? I heard you need to get at least 2 in order for your box to have a chance. We got a 1/1 Frog. We got a 1/1 Hero. Oh, another double-sided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Summon Chocomog and Diamond Weapon. Remember him from Final Fantasy VII? Remember the first time I ran into one of the weapons on accident? It was a very short, very sad encounter. I left thinking, WTF was that? Regalia. He's a pretty cool little vehicle here. When the Regalia attacks, reveal cards at the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Put that land on the battlefield tapped, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Notably, it can be any land. Whatever land you hit is going to go in. It doesn't have to be a basic. I think that makes that card a little better than some people are thinking. You've got Sid. I remember Sid. Cool character. Equipment and vehicle spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. During your turn, Sid has flying. Return target for 2 and tap. Return target equipment or vehicle card from your graveyard to your hand. It does a lot for a 2-drop. I'm not sure if it's good enough or not. We'll see. We got Sin, Spira's Punishment. It's 7 for a 7/7 flyer. Whenever Sin enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random. Then create a tapped token that's a copy of that card. If the exiled card is a land card, repeat this process. Pretty cool. I mean, essentially you want the exiled card to be a land because it's just a free token of a land, and then you get to do it again. So however many times you hit a land, you just get those lands and keep going. We've got a Surge foil. Oh, this is the front face commander. That's a pretty cool hit. Strike a pose art of the front face commander at the beginning of combat. On your turn, mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until end of turn. Whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2. When you do, return target creature card with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't know how I feel about her abilities, but yeah, it's a cool thing to hit. We have got Van, Aspiring Sky Pirate, which is Captain Lannery Storm. I mean, why? Why? Captain Lannery Storm. Why? Why put that on the bonus sheet? We've got Cecil Dark Knight. Oh, yes, this is a cool card here. You're going to see a lot of this guy in Standard, maybe even Pioneer. Death Touch, when Cecil deals damage, you lose that much life. Then if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, untap Cecil and transform it. And then, you know, you're losing a lot of life because of him, but all of a sudden, they're going to have to remove this guy immediately, or he's just going to gain it all back and then some. He's a 4/4 lifelink. Remember, you put this guy on the board for 1 mana. And he can very easily become a 4/4 lifelink. Whenever Cecil attacks, other attacking creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You know, Final Fantasy 4. Yeah, I don't think I've hit anything that's going to lead me to believe that I could have possibly broken even on this box. I think it's not all about that, but, you know, when you're paying $600 a box, you want to feel like it's worth $600. You know, I wanted to open one. Everything in my heart was telling me to just skip it and buy singles. Skip buying a box and just buy singles of everything you want. But I love opening boxes, right? It just, you don't have to charge $600 a box. It took them no more money to print this crap than it did for them to print Outlaws of Thunder Junction or Murders at Karlov Manor. You know, there's no reason for it to cost $600 bucks. We've got here Janked again. Jank. We got the Darkness Crystal. Hey, this is a good one. I think it's one of the better ones. Black spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If non-token creatures and opponent control, if a non-token creature and opponent control would die, instead exile it and you gain 2 life. And for 6 mana, you can put a creature exiled with it onto the battlefield, tapped under your control with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. Pretty cool source of ramp, life gain, and when you run out of threats to cast from your hand, you just start casting theirs. A lot of people dog on it because of the casting cost, 4 mana, but I guarantee you, in a commander pod, it's probably more of a commander card, right? In a commander pod, that's not going to be on the table very long before people start talking about, holy crap, we better remove that. Bannon, the returns leader, nothing to write home about. Here's a cool card. Joshua, Phoenix is dominant. Enters discard, then draw 2. Flips over into this here Saga. Yeah, 2 damage to each opponent. Yeah, I don't know, like an aggravate card. I wish he had haste. We get another Wall of Omens. Haha! Yay, another Wall of Omens. It's foil, too. Yeah. We've got Clive. Ifrit's Dominus. When Clive enters, you may discard your hand, then draw cards equal to your devotion to red. And then another 6, so you're 12 mana into him before you exile and return him to the battlefield. Fights up to 1 target. Another target creature. You get 2 turns of ramp, and then you get to flip them back over again, discard your hand again, and draw cards equal to your devotion to red again. I don't know, it could be powerful, like a casual commander. It's not going to be seen in any 60-card formats, that's for sure. I don't think he's going to ever be a CEDH commander. Just costs way too much. Mono red basically isn't even really a thing other than Magda. We got Island, Ambrosia Whiteheart, Tia. We've got Saz Katzori. Saz Katzori. Yeah, he's nothing to write home about either. Heidegger, Shinra Executive. You see what we got in the next card. We've got Maester Seymour. At the beginning of combat on your turn, but that guy's pretty cool. Nice little +1/+1 counter, and we see that we got Kefka, one of the better mythics in the set. That's when he enters or attacks each player, even yourself, discard a card, then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. And then he can flip over if you pay a buttload of mana. You can flip him over into a 5/7 flyer that whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards. Pretty cool. I promise to light up the stage. Yay. And hey, a foil extended art Jumbo Cactaur. You are going to see Jumbo Cactaur all over the place for a long time. Everybody wants to live the Jumbo Cactaur dream of giving them trample or flinging them into your face and just killing you in one shot. It's going to get real old real fast. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 land and 2 extended or borderless cards. Let's see if we can flip a Vivi right here. Vivi, nope. Nibelhelm of Flame. Choose target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. If this spell was cast from your graveyard, discard your hand and draw 4 cards. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that card. Let's see here. We've got Aettir and Priwen. We've got this guy. Add 1 mana of any color. Read at the beginning of your upkeep. If you control a creature with power 7 or greater, draw a card. Whatever. We've got at the beginning of each end step mills cards where X. Beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Yeah, I don't know. Not crappy. Yeah, Fatal Push. Yay. Yeah, I mean my cards out of that slot have been, and you get the Simic land. Yeah, my cards out of this slot have been just an absolute flop. What do we got? Fatal Push, Light Up the Stage, Wall of Omens, Captain Lannery Storm. Kenrith might be a decent hit. Stroke of Midnight, not it. What do we got here? Deadly Dispute. Tymna, good hit. Wall of Omens, definitely not. Smuggler Copter, I don't know, decent hit. Strixhaven Stadium, why? And then Akroma's Will. So, I mean, yeah, I got 4 good cards here. I don't know. We only got 1 Surge foil, and it was the alternate commander. I don't think that's going to be even close to the most valuable Surge foil you can get. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. Did I get 300 in the first half? Did I get 600 overall? I don't think so. But I wanted to open one of them just to say I did it. And it was underwhelming like I was afraid it would be. I mean, for $600, I don't know what you're going to have to hit for it to be overwhelming. But it would have been nice to feel like I got close to even, but I don't think I did. Check out down in the comments section, in the description area. I will post what the big hits values were, and I will tell you what the value of the box is. And until next time, this is Impulse TCG signing out.